Okay, for grammar and pop today, we're going to be doing 2 pages. The first one's going to be complex sentences, and then the next one is going to be punctuating dialogue. Complex sentences is on a green paper, so I'm going to do one with you. The directions say that you are going to circle the dependent clause and underline the independent clause. So if you have a red pen or a red color pencil, you can do that. If not, just use your pencil. The dependent clause is going to be in red, and then we're going to underline the independent clause in green. And here's the example. I brought my ball when I went to the park. So what they did was they took the independent clause and they put it at the beginning of the sentence. Remember, when you have an independent clause first, there is no comma. When the dependent clause comes first, you have to have a comma. Okay, you know that it's going to be a dependent clause because it has these subordinated conjunctions right here, and it's right at the top. So we're going to do one together. Number 2, while we were on the bus, it started to rain. This part here, while we were on the bus, is the dependent clause. And it started to rain is the independent clause. So I'm going to rewrite the sentence where it says, I'm going to rewrite the sentence to where the independent clause comes first and the dependent clause comes at the end, because that's the directions right here. It says rearrange the clauses, write the dependent clause at the end of the sentence. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite. It started to rain, and don't forget to use capital letters and punctuation. It started to rain while we were on the bus. Okay, and you are writing complete sentences, making sure that you have a capital letter, period at the end, independent clause comes first. So there should be no comma. If the independent clause comes first, there should be no comma. Make sure your name is on your paper. Then you're going to turn this one in and move on to the next one, which is punctuating dialogue. The directions say read the notes and reminders about punctuating dialogue, then complete the practice sentences by adding punctuation marks, exclamation marks, question marks, commas, and periods. Here are the directions. We're going to do one together, and then on the back it says write your own sentences using dialogue. So these we're going to add punctuation marks to. You have some questions on punctuating dialogue. You're going to select the right answer choice. And then it says to complete the conversation by adding dialogue sentences. Wow, what a weekend, exclaimed Josie. Really? Tell me about it, said Lucas. And then you can continue the conversation using sentences. I want you to add maybe 5. Let's do 5. 5 lines of dialogue. So continue this conversation. What do you think Josie said next? How did Lucas reply? So on and so forth. Okay, tell me about the weekend. I'm going to do an example. Number 1. The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, screamed Travis. This is missing punctuation, quotation marks, a comma, and a period. And then I'm going to do one of these. Wow, what a weekend, exclaimed Josie. Really? Tell me about it, said Lucas. Well, on Friday evening. Here are my punctuation marks, quotation marks here because that's dialogue. My family and I went to dinner. Where did you go? Asked Lucas. So I'm continuing this conversation. Okay, there are your examples. Once you're finished with both papers, go ahead and turn it in. This will be graded, so make sure you complete everything and put your name on both.